At 64 years old, George Clooney seems like the man who has it all: fame, fortune, a beautiful family, the Hollywood dream life. But behind the charm, the smile, and the red carpet glow, lies a story few truly know. And the truth about his life is beyond heartbreaking. Stay with me until the end, because once you hear this, you'll never look at George Clooney the same way again. George Clooney was born into a family that seemed destined for the spotlight. His father was a respected TV host, his aunt a famous singer, and for young George, the stage was set. But the path to success was not glamorous. In fact, it was brutal. He struggled with dyslexia. He faced constant rejection as a young actor. Casting directors told him he wasn't good-looking enough, wasn't talented enough. For years he was broke, sleeping on friends' couches, even selling women's shoes just to get by. He was on the brink of giving up when a single role, Dr. Doug Ross on ER, changed everything. Overnight, Clooney became a household name. But with fame came the curse. What the world didn't see was that George Clooney was silently battling a painful medical condition. In 2005, while filming, he suffered a severe spinal injury that left him with agonizing headaches, so intense they drove him to thoughts of ending it all. The pain was relentless. He admitted later that at one point, he considered suicide. Even surgeries couldn't fully erase the torment. To this day, he still suffers from chronic pain. Imagine standing on the world's biggest stages, smiling for flashing cameras, while inside, every step feels like torture. That's been Clooney's reality for nearly 2 decades. But the physical pain wasn't the only tragedy. His personal life has been scarred by heartbreak too. George Clooney, for most of his life, believed he was never meant to have a family. After a failed first marriage, he swore off the idea of love. He became Hollywood's most famous bachelor, going from one relationship to another. Behind the glamorous headlines, though, was a man terrified of loneliness, yet convinced he couldn't build the life he truly wanted. It wasn't until his 50s, when he met Amal, that everything changed. He finally found love, stability, and later, fatherhood. For a while, it seemed like George Clooney had beaten the odds. But life wasn't finished testing him. In 2018, Clooney was in Sardinia when a horrific motorcycle accident nearly took his life. He was hit by a car at full speed. His body flew through the air and smashed against the windshield before crashing to the ground. Witnesses thought he was dead. For George, those seconds felt like an eternity. He later admitted the only thought running through his head was whether his children would grow up without a father. He survived, but once again, the shadow of tragedy followed him. His body has never fully recovered from the crash. And then, there's the darker, quieter truth: George Clooney has never felt completely at peace in Hollywood. Despite his success, he's spoken openly about the emptiness that fame brings. He has said that money and awards can't fix the pain of loneliness, regret, or the physical suffering that never leaves his side. At 64, Clooney should be celebrating a lifetime of triumphs. Yet instead, his story is one of endurance. Of a man who appears to have it all, but behind closed doors carries scars the world will never fully see. So what is George Clooney's real tragedy? It isn't the pain. It isn't the accidents. It isn't even the years of heartbreak and doubt. It's that the world only sees the smile, the charm, the perfection. They don't see the man who has lived with pain every single day, who almost didn't survive the darkest nights, and who has fought battles far harder than anything on screen. And maybe that's why his story is so haunting. Because George Clooney reminds us that even the brightest stars can be living through the darkest tragedies. At 64, his life looks golden. But the truth behind the curtain is beyond heartbreaking.